In today's video, I am breaking down how I found the best sensitivity for you. Yeah, you watching the video, my 13-year-old compadre that is in middle school or high school, my 35-year-old adult that is out here adulting, my 75-year-old OG that's watching this because they want to clap these kids. I got the best sense for you, and it'll all make sense as I run through everything and as I explain how I found the best sense for you. So if you find this video helpful in any capacity, slap the like button. Your boy would appreciate it so much. Slap the sub button for more COD content to come in the near future. And comment something random down below. I don't know. Tell me how your day was. I always read and I always respond. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's jump in, shall we? All right, first things first, folks. Make sure you have a couple loadouts built out, primarily an SMG and or an AR loadout. If you want to use like a marksman rifle, that's fine, but don't be out here with no snipers or anything crazy like that. Just something simple, right? So for the sake of this video, you'll see me rocking out, of course, with the Hurricane, and I'm gonna take it into the firing range. Now you can do this with bots as well, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm just jumping in the firing range because it can be done here, all right? Now you might be saying, Cray, how did you find the best sensitivity for me? Well, I guess that was a little bit of clickbait. You're going to be finding the best sensitivity for yourself, right? And I'm going to explain for you very simply how we can do that, all right? We got 2 tests that we're going to complete, but before that, you want to make sure you have what I call a base sensitivity, all right? So for me, I already have my sensitivity locked in, so it's, not fair, but my sensitivity, if I can find it, this menu is so confusing. All right, cool. I rock 1010, right? 0.95 ADS sense. This is what I got. This is what I figured out after I ran this test for myself. All right. So these tests, because they're multiple. So 2 tests. I will call a 90-degree test and I will call a 180-degree test. Now, pretty self-explanatory, kind of to a degree, but if you don't understand, like I wouldn't understand, let me break it down. All right. Test number 1, 90-degree test. All right. This is when you are looking at this wall, for example, right? Knowing that there is an enemy 90 degrees to your left or 90 degrees to your right, okay? So what you wanna do is, as you're moving, you wanna quickly jump, snap towards the general direction of the enemy and ADS directly on them or well within proximity, right? So if I'm doing it at full speed, I would do this, boom, boom. You see that? You see how as I do the 90-degree test, I land literally right on this dude's chest, and it's easy for me to just shoot and clap, right? And you're gonna run a, excuse me, you're gonna want to do this a multitude of times, right? Like you're gonna wanna do this at least like 10 times, right? Because the first time could just be luck, So you're gonna wanna just kind of keep doing this over and over, right? One direction. So I'm doing it to the left, boom. Let's pretend I did it 10 times and I'm pretty much spot on, perfect, right? So then I'm gonna do it to the right and see if I line up with this target. I'm just using this front target. I don't know how to make a move, so forgive me for that. So let's pretend that that target is like right here, right? So now I'm gonna do it to the right about 10 times, boom. Let's say I'm perfect, cool. Now I have a great idea of the ballpark of my sensitivity, or I have the great idea of what sense I should be rocking, all right? Now, things to look out for when you're doing this 90-degree test. If you find yourself under rotating, okay, so let's do this just for the sake of demoing for the video. Let me lower my sense down to something like ridiculous, right? So let's say I'm playing 3-3, okay? Boom. All right, now as I do this 90-degree test, boom, right? I'm under rotating and I'm not in a position where I can line up my reticle on the target. And again, I'm doing this 10 times, right? Man, I can't get my reticle to that guy, man, or my reticle. Gosh, I'm gonna get roasted for how I say reticle. I can't get it to that guy. What's going on? What's happening? Well, this is probably a key indicator that based off of your natural muscle memory, you probably should have a higher sensitivity, right? Because again, sensitivity is relative to the individual. So what you're going to do in this instance is, okay, man, I'm under rotating. You ran a test, the left side, the right side. So what you do is you come here, and again, not my controller, but my mouse and keyboard people, same thing applies for you when you break your wrist using that mouse. You know what I'm saying? Same thing applies here for you. So you're like, okay, let me crank it up a little bit, So I crank it up to 5.5. Am I still under rotating? Oh, a little bit, man. Shoot. I went to the left 10 times, went to the right 10 times, still under rotating. Shoot. Let me crank it up more, right? Until you find that sensitivity that is in that sweet spot where you can be consistent at least, I would say 7 out of 10 times on the left side and the right side, okay? Once you do that, you have a good idea of what sensitivity you should be using at that exact moment in time, right? And on the flip side, let's say I'm doing something stupid here and I'm over dramatizing for the sake of this video, but let's say I'm rocking 2020, right? Boom, bro, I can't even, like I'm trying to do my 90-degree snap and there's no way, I'm over rotating. Same rules apply here. So what I'm gonna do now is begin to slowly dial down my sensitivity here and find what works best for me, right? So if I'm starting on 2020, I might go to 1717, right? And then see what's going on at 1717. Can I do it? Still over rotating, so on and so forth until you find that right sensitivity for you, okay? So again, for me, I found 1010 was perfect. I found 1010 gave me the opportunity to still be able to rotate relatively quickly, but also to give me the control to make those 90-degree snaps with little to no problem, okay? Now, the second test is what I would call the reinforcement test, but it is also a 180-degree test, all right? So pretty much the same rules apply that apply for the 90-degree test. We're gonna start right here and pretend if you're in a game and you're running this way and you start to get peppered from behind, what you're going to do is you're going to do a 180-degree turn and see if you can line up directly 180 degrees behind you. Right now, again, I'm a little bit cold, haven't played all day. I just jumped on for the sake of this video, so I'm probably going to under rotate a little bit as I do this, but you want to make sure that you have the ability to somewhat be in the ballpark. If it's not perfect 180 degrees, you want to make sure you're probably well within, I would say, plus or minus 20 degrees of that turnaround, right? So if you're turning around here and you fall short a little bit, like if I'm trying to aim on this dude back here and you are somewhere over here or somewhere over there, I'd still say that's relatively good, right? And this is just to confirm that that sensitivity is good for you, right? Because in some cases, let's say, for example, you settled on, how do I get back to the stupid sense? Let's say you settled on 1515. Again, I'm just giving an example because 90 degrees for 1515 was doable for you. You're like, oh, that's great. And now you're trying to do the reinforcement or the 180-degree test, and you always over rotate it because for some reason you just cannot get the sensitivity down. You're like, shoot, man, I can never snap on that person shooting me from behind. I lose my gunfights that way. It sucks. All this does is let you know, okay, maybe 1515 isn't the sense for you. Maybe we want to drop it down to 1313, right? Because again, we're trying to find middle ground. We realized that, I don't know, we realized that 1111 was too slow for us, but 1717 was too high. So we settled on 1515. Maybe 1515 is still a little too high, so we settle on 1313. And now we find ourselves doing a 180 turn, and it's more within that plus or minus 20 degrees of 180 degrees. Now we have a good idea of what our sensitivity is. Now we're like, okay, we got it. And from here, you just rep it out. You rep, you go and you train against dummies. You come to the firing range and you play around with movement, doing 90-degree jumps to shots, focusing on recoil control, things of that nature, right? You start to play around with things once you have found that sensitivity for you, doing the 90-degree and doing the 180-degree test. Again, all this is applicable on mouse and keyboard. Just pretend that I'm talking about mouse sensitivity, right? My mouse sensitivity is 5, so you start at 5, find out you're under rotating, so you crank it up to 5.5 or to 6 or whatever, or and vice versa. If you're over rotating or you're over flicking too much, then you bring that mouse sensitivity down. Again, same rules apply, very simple, and I promise you, you will be in a position where you are working towards your strengths and you're not just copying your favorite content creator sensitivities, because I will be honest, I've done that before time and time again. I've tried to run low sense like some of my favorite creators, didn't work. I tried to run really high sense like some of my favorite creators, did not work for me. So I found out about this, or I guess I can't remember if I brainstormed this or if I looked up something online and it led me towards this, but this is something that I adopted for myself, and I do something like this in every single FPS shooter that I play, mouse and keyboard or on controller, to find out the perfect sense for me. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Hopefully I was not too lengthy here. Looks like I've been talking for, I don't know, my timer stopped at 4 minutes and 57 seconds. So I don't know how long I've been talking. Hopefully it wasn't long. Hopefully this video is useful to you. If not, I apologize for wasting your time, but if it was, I am honored to have been a service to you. It's your boy Cray. I am signing out. I will catch you all in the next video. Until then, as I always say, stay humble, be blessed, remain relentless. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.